What's going on out there today? Oh man, I had to get caught up on some movies because it's been going through so much here. I didn't have a chance to really drop this video and get it out to the people, so I didn't get a chance to do a top 10 list and put them all down and get them all on the list for you. But I'm ready now. Yep, ready, ready, ready like Freddy. This was a very good year for movies, by the way, for those who don't know. This was a very good year for movies. And a lot of people didn't understand some of the films that were out, and a lot of them people did not catch movies until they got to a certain extent, like a certain place to where they would be okay. Meaning that there were so many movies that came out this year. A lot of them came out, whether it's on streaming platforms everywhere. And it was so much for people to even focus on, so many other distractions. They let a lot of good movies go by. And when you start doing that, it really affects how people are going to perceive, um, right, or take in the actual work itself. Now, I had a hard time making this list to find out what film would be number one, what should be number two. Putting it in order was the hardest thing ever because all the movies are different. They have something unique about them that we even have horror movies now in top 10 best movies of all time, of 2024 rather, not all time. And that's saying something. So right away, let's start with number 10. Number 10 is Mad Max Furiosa. Furiosa, to me, was something that really set a tone, and it made this list because it deserved to be in the top 10. George Miller's creative vision, the acting alone, and not giving you what you think you were going to see, the look of Gastown, and I wanted to see more of them do their thing there. But the overall scope of this thing, watching it in its full splendor, absolute genius of a movie. I got it at number 10. Clearly, great choice on the list. Now, another one that's on the list at number 9, I got is Conclave. Conclave, I saw when it came out at the movie theater on a limited release. It was about the death of the Pope. They have to elect a new Pope. That whole precision, the whole thing is called a conclave. And they have someone that runs that. And it's a whole bunch of politics and BS when electing a new Pope. And you see that process played out in the conclave. So Conclave is at number 9. Number 8, I have The First Omen. The First Omen is like a crazy movie that you would never think would be on this list for top 10 greatest movies of all time, or for that year. First Omen surprised the living out of me because I had no idea it was going to be that good. It was so good, so creepy, so scary, and visually done correctly, and the acting was done correctly, that it put me in a field of, I don't want to see this no more. Ever again. I'm getting up out of here. Never did I feel like that until I watched that movie. And that's why I said number 7. And I had it above Conclave. Conclave is great. Some people have it even higher, but I understand why it's there. At number 6, we have The Substance. The Substance was excellent. Demi Moore playing in this role. The first 5 minutes will blow you away, and it shows how people will go what they view as beauty, cosmetic, everything. It's just incredible. An incredible movie, and it's you got to have a stomach. It'll make you throw up too. Some of what people are going to do, and I don't want to tell the movie, but watch The Substance. It's probably a lot higher on a lot of people's lists. It's it's deservingly so. A lot of these movies could be that's on this top 10 list. Number 5 is Strange Darling, and we're gonna get there just a sec, but I'm just gonna make sure I got my list correct. Number 10, we got Furiosa. Number 9, we had make sure we in the right place. Okay, we have Furiosa. Okay, so where we at the Furiosa? What do we have? We have Furiosa at number 10. Number 9, we had what? Was it Concave? Conclave? Which one was number 9? So I want to make sure we right where we're supposed to be. And I know we have First Omen at number 7. So number 6. So number 6 should be The Substance, right? Okay, there we go. So number 6 is The Substance. So we got that right. So number 5 is Strange Darling. Strange Darling is a independent movie that was done, made that had to look like it was done in the 70s, but it's not. And this is a serial killer movie. And buddy, you are so confused watching it that you're like trying to figure out who and what is happening. The first 5-10 minutes is incredible. And you're blown away by the look, the style, everything. I've done a movie review for this, and I was at the premiere of it with the directors and everybody, and we watched it and was like, they don't even make movies like this anymore. They don't. They don't take time to even film them. And you normally don't get them in the United States. Strange Darling is definitely at number 5. Check it out and see if you understand or like it yourself. At number 4, we got Sing Sing. Sing Sing, it's got something to do with these males in prison. It's based on a true story, which I didn't even know until I watched the movie. I did this review months ago. And Sing Sing's about this, they take up acting and they start doing acting on stage, and it's starting to help them deal with their prison time and things that they're doing in life. And and it's like an escapism, and it gives them something to do, and it gives them a actual trait. Where they playing characters on stage like Macbeth, and they do plays, they write plays, and they perform them. So they created this program for it, and the guy who was head of that program was actually wrongly accused of being in prison. But the state, because they knew they had the wrong guy, it was just going to cost them money, even though the guy who was in jail admitted to doing it. He got caught on something else and admitted to doing it. Then he died, and it was just all kind of messed up. But the guy who created the program was wrongly, falsely arrested. Like, so he was in jail when he wasn't supposed to be, and he was inspiring others. And then you see his struggle with him trying to get released and going through this this play. And the acting and the performances, and I'm like, this is raw. Then you find out that, hey, these aren't really actors. These were some of the inmates. These were like a lot of the actors were the inmate actors that was in the play. They were in this movie. I'm like, oh damn, that dude he did look like a criminal. He was somebody that was in this program. Yeah. First opened The Substance, Stranger Darling. Yep. Yeah, we caught up now. Yeah, we caught up now because we had four. Now we're on four. So four was Sing Sing. Because five was Strange Darling, four is Sing Sing. We caught up now. Thanks, Christian. So that's number four. Now number three. Whoo. Number three. That's gonna be hard. Now you get to the last three movies and how they gonna be ranked. Now a lot of people might not have these lists and they might have others on the list. And I have no problems with you putting all these movies up there. Like a lot of people saying Dune 2 and all of this stuff. And that's cool. That is cool. But this list is hard, man. This is hard. It really is. And even now, I'm stuck. Because it's hard for me to, when you watch something, you don't want to be what you would say what you would say is you don't want to say prisoner of the moment. You don't want to do prisoner of the moment. Nobody out there wants to do the prisoner of the moment thing because it only makes you look weak. Like it does. It makes you look real weak if you got to do the prisoner of the moment thing. Oh, there's plenty of films out there that you guys haven't seen in the top 10 that is beyond. Now, what I got at number 3, a lot of people gonna have it number 1. And it's only because it's been burning up the internet. Kwame Brown got something that's finna premiere. That's what just popped up. I was looking at that. He's got a video finna premiere. But it's called The Brutalist. Okay, The Brutalist is a performance based. Adrien Brody's probably gonna get a Oscar for it. He's a Hungarian refugee trying to make his way in America following the years of World War II. So you did the visual and the acting performances, like Guy Pearce's performance was great. Um, it is an emotional movie. It's a bunch of mood swings. It's perfectly shot, and especially they love anything from World War II. Um, yeah, all these ambitions and all this stuff, and you seeing this person come over as an immigrant in the country after World War II and how he's going through and what he's fighting against, um, and just the performances. So you're gonna always have that when you look at this. What is Kwame talking about? So we get into the last two films. It really it was on limited release in the movie theater, and it's limited release now, but it's on streaming. So I was able to sit there and watch it because they rave these movies, and I'm gonna give an honorable mention to The Fall Guy. I'm gonna give honorable mention to Juror Number Two. I'm gonna give honorable mention to Nosferatu. And Honora. They're not on my list. That's going to shock people. Those movies did not make my list. And everybody's going to be shocked. But yeah, didn't make my list. Fall Guy almost did. Now, when you start saying, well, if Nosferatu, that's the one I said I have a hard time with Prisoner of the Moment. Uh, that's what I'm talking about. So I wanted to get those honorable mentions up when we get to our last two movies. Number one was already number one for me. I'm trying to say, out of all these new movies I saw, that there's a lot that many people did not see. Everybody's going to say Dune 2 because they seen it, but they didn't understand what they were seeing, right? So when you start looking at these elements of, oh, I'm gonna do it based on what was the highest grossing movie this year, what was this situation here, like these are the top, and these movies should be up there, and I don't care what people say, this movie was that. Oh my God, it was all this and it was this, it needed to do what it did. Well, all I can tell you is that 2024 will not get me stuck in the realm. I'm not gonna be stuck in the realm. You're not gonna get me stuck in the juice. I'm not going for whatever plight they try to pull with Hollywood. Because Dave's like, oh well, it's all about science fiction, it's all about this and that. One of the best put together movies that they done. You're never gonna see it. You're never gonna see it. But the number two greatest movie of this year, I can't say it. Can't say it, y'all. Cause I'm stuck. I'm stuck with it. I'm debating. I'm on my I, I can't do it. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Richie, I can't do it. It's so close. I gotta say it, man. The Wild Robot. I gotta do it, man. I ain't want to do it. I did not want to put an animated movie in the list. I haven't done that since Toy Story 3. And I gotta do it. It's The Wild Robot, man. The Wild Robot is good. It is great. It is great. I was hating on the damn movie for so long. I couldn't do it, man. It's the Wild Robot. The Wild Robot is absolutely great. The survival robot got shipwrecked or whatever, and I didn't know Lupita was even in it until I was listening to the voice. This adopted robot, whatever, it was a heartwarming movie. I almost cried. They basically just showing the depth of emotions throughout characters with no face or no smile, no facial reactions was heartwarming. And Roz the robot was the that was it, man. It's a heartfelt movie, and it's definitely the best animated movie they put out this year. But it'll never get that attention, because they just don't make movies like this anymore with any real heart and warmth. And the animation now, it's all about silliness and action. So the fact that they did this, DreamWorks, I have to give you your props for making the Wild Robot. It is number two. It was clearly ahead of the others. More honorable mentions. After this, number one. Number one is Civil War. Civil War has been my favorite movie of the entire year, and I knew it when I saw it. Nothing was going to beat it. Civil War was not what I expected. Alex Garland came out and did exactly what I thought he was going to do, which was a whole different play. The trailers and everything led you to think this movie was going to be something else, like action, just straight out war, blah, 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 blah. And what it did was take you through the cerebral events of what war was and what would a civil war actually look like in details. Everybody's armed. You have factions. You have all of these dystopian type of waves that you see everywhere. So everybody is spread it out, and it's starting to be something that everybody else know it isn't. So no, Civil War was always going to be number one. Everybody else was like very tied, really like close into this. This whole thing was close. Wild Robot to me was up there. I was like, man, this is so heartfelt. And by me seeing it like recently, like just recently, because when it was out, I didn't have time to go see it. And then now everybody raved about it. I'm like, yeah, it's not going to be all that. Now, I did go see the Unknown movie, the Bob Dylan movie. I didn't do a review on that yet. I'm gonna do that because I saw that recently. And September 5th, that's a movie that's supposed to come out now. That was supposed to come out then and didn't do it. Didn't happen. So Civil War is just excellently put together. And you saw it through the eyes of the people that was reporting it. You start to see the factions, and it teaches you how to think. And it wasn't, I'm glad they took that route. So now it's like, oh, okay, it's that movie. And because I watched those movies too, I'm able to adjust. Everybody else was like, oh man, come on, man, I didn't even see a lot of killing and shooting. That's what they was waiting for, it to just go into an explosion all out. This is what it is. Civil War jumping off. It was a lot of dialogue, a lot of things to process, what they're actually into, and what time frame are you in. People don't even know. This is not 2024 or 2025 or nothing like this. This is like 20 years later. Cell phones are like non-existent. Cell towers are down. So you don't have cell phones. People are using like radio CB to communicate with people. It's everybody's at war. There's no factions. You're going to basically have to, the American dollar is not worth anything anymore. The Canadian dollar is worth more. You're seeing everything turned upside down and how people are living and existing during that time. The United States were now divided, so it was an entirely different time, to say the least. And man, oh man. Dune 2 was not in my top 10. It was close. It almost made it. Dune 2. Because Dune 2 is, well, the story is good and it was a good action movie. It's a continuation from the first movie. And then it's set up to be a third movie. And then, even though it was kind of good, went much better than the first one, the first movie was like all set up to get to this level. And it's like they're dragging the story out. I like the second one a lot better. So it's definitely an honorable mention for that one. That could easily be in the top 10. There's a few movies that could have been in the top 10. Um, so a lot of movies were good, but I don't think was top 10. Anora did not make my top 10, and definitely not challengers. Would people stop putting these movies up there and glorifying these movies? This is what Hollywood do. Whenever it gets to the end of the year movies, they start suggesting movies to get people to watch them because nobody watched challengers. And they put movies out there like that to get Zendaya to do more riskier damn roles, like they did Emma Stone. Like, oh, you're gonna get an Oscar now because you let two white guys run a train on you. It's like we gotta stop that type shit right there. Now Emma Stone's getting ran through in every damn movie. It's like, what the hell's going on here? She must be going through it. Nosferatu. Here's the thing about Robert Eggers. Great director. He does well with saturated colors. He don't like real bright movies. He like them dingy, dirty, period based. He did the Northman, the Witch, and then the Northman was incredible. That was the best thing he did, in my opinion. So with Robert Eggers is putting together a movie, and he's normally going to bring you into it and make it raw and gritty and make it like a period piece. So when he's telling these stories, he doesn't. The ending sometimes is so weird. Like the witch ending was weird. The Northman, they had a big Viking finale where they're both naked fighting on a volcano. It was crazy as hell. But that's what I'm saying. This ending was just like, huh? But this was kind of mirrored the book, because it follows the story of Nosferatu. And this was a personal thing with him. And the reason it was personal is because of who he was dealing with, and the fact that he grew up off this movie. As a little kid, he heard about the story. He wanted to see this because this movie never was supposed to come out. When they made Nosferatu based off the book, the overseas they had the movie destroyed. So when they destroyed the movie, they sit over there and said, "Okay, well, we destroyed this movie. It shouldn't come out," but it didn't. They won a lawsuit in court. The people said, "Hey, they can't make a movie off my book. This is just like my book." So they didn't have the rights to do it. So the movie Nosferatu was shipped overseas to America, and it was shown at some theaters here, and that was that. It didn't make any money really, but it was like a cult classic. People thought it was terrifying to look at a guy. And as a kid, he went to a video store, got the VHS tape, and Robert Eggers was able to watch it with his mom. And she let him watch it as a kid, and now he gets a chance to make the song. I mean, not the song, but the actual movie itself. So this was a personal piece to him. And it was very well done. Shot, the acting, it just got to a part where it became about the performance and less about the movie because it kind of played out. And I like Bram Stoker's Dracula more better than I like this one. They both have things and elements that was taken from each movie, like the voyage of the Dementor that we saw when he was actually traveling to the land based on the book. When they had him in that cargo, they basically used that in the movie. Used a lot of stuff that was in Bram Stoker's Dracula, with all of the things that he was able to do with the carrier coming over to visit the girl. So a lot of those elements came into play. Challenger is a trash movie. Like, it is not a good movie. Zendaya did not do a great job in the movie at all. Wasn't even close. This is what I'm saying, man. That's why I'm like, this they're doing that to get people to go and check it out. Like, I never saw Challengers. They say it's good. No, it's not. It's not a top 10 movie. It was ridiculous. I was like, this is ridiculous. And Zendaya playing the same role that she played every movie. She played the same little snobby, I know it all, little stuck up bitch. And people are tired of it. I know I'm tired of seeing that shit. I'm like, show me some real acting. She played the same role she played in everything. She know everything is Mary Jane. She know everything. No real acting. Let me get out of here for they blame me for something. I'm working on some stuff now. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for everybody who joined the memberships. Promise to give y'all something more this year. I'm out.